Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bagman Podcast. We are on episode 8. We are just steamrolling right along this year. We're past the first 9 weeks. This is our 8th person on. Well, 6 or 7.
More or
and
less.
A couple with just us. You can tell that the ones with just us are the lowest rated.
Lowest rated. And the shortest, too.
And the shortest. Yeah, we just do our stuff and get out of here, right?
Yep.
We got a fun one today. Should be a good episode. We got a fun guest. As you can see up top, Mr. Hegg's here with us. You've got messaging pulled up
Yes.
for something.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's something in a segment.
It's relevant to...
It is relevant. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I'm going to talk about today so I don't forget. I don't have it written down.
Go for it.
So the third grade class, as a whole, they did their Pioneer Day today. They had it scheduled earlier in the year, and they had to push it back. Today's the 30th. They had it pushed back to today. I sent 4 of my radio TV kids over, 2 of them to cover like behind the scenes stuff, and then 2 to run a green screen photograph area.
Awesome.
The kids had like a box full of clothes they could dress up in. There were a couple of hats. Tyra was on Lysol duty. So every time a kid wore
both hands.
Yes, every time a kid wore something, she would Lysol it. So there were no germs passed back and forth.
But it's elementary. There are germs.
No, it's all in the air. And Officer Ked was over there keeping track of everybody.
Awesome.
So they had a great time. My kids, I think, had more fun than even the 3rd graders.
Yeah.
They got to eat Johnny cakes. They got to make their own butter. They kind of were welcomed into the experience. So thank you to the elementary. Former guest of the show, Halen Noble, one of the 3rd grade teachers that was helping put this together. And just thank everybody that was part of it. My kids had a great time. They got some really good content. So in the coming days, you'll be able to see that. And that's also why there wasn't a Neapolitan Forest stream today. So just getting that out there seemed like a really cool thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Rewind stuff. What do you got?
First, from my mom, haircut looks good.
She just wants the removal of hair from me at this point.
Did you see the article about a group that tries to find the Sasquatch? Craig better take care.
Uh-oh, turn the lights off in the room. And she had a really nice note to you the other day as well for your birthday.
She did.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to Mom.
Yay, Mom.
I am less Sasquatchy. We got the short hair, but we've still got the long beard. Actually, the beard is out of frame. That's how long it is. So we'll just keep that a secret.
So would you say you're down to sass, or are you down to squatch?
Oh, well, I've always been full of sass. I don't know that a lot of people get that, though, which is part of the allure.
Yeah.
Is you can just talk past people or over people.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of fun. Mr. Hegg can attest to that, where you just speed talk to someone or
ramble and
keep them going.
Yeah.
So that's always been a talent. Stock, what's been going on last week? We had a lot of stuff.
Last week, well, with my classes, I've been talking about the World Cup rugby, which has been taking place in France.
Yeah, go New Zealand.
No. The final was Saturday. South Africa won, New Zealand second, and England came in third.
Well, it looks better on France if New Zealand would have won, right? Because France beat them in the first round. Yeah, that would have looked way better.
Well, France should have done better.
They bowed out pretty early, right?
They got upset. Didn't they? Who'd they get upset by? It wasn't even England, was it?
It was South
smaller.
Africa.
Was it?
Oh, so they got beat by the winner.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not bad.
I thought they got beat by a smaller nation. I don't know why.
Yeah, like Djibouti, Eritrea, somebody with like 14 people in it.
Liechtenstein.
You're Liechtenstein. Yes. Excellent.
Do you know who England beat in the bronze medal?
Yes. Argentina, maybe?
Okay. Was it not Argentina that beat France? Maybe not.
I don't know.
Okay.
Now, here's the question. Do they wear the same jersey colors as like their World Cup kits for like soccer?
They're green and yellow.
Who, South Africa?
South Africa.
They are, for soccer.
So Argentina, they have like the powder blue. I didn't watch them. Yeah, I didn't watch them. I was just watching Taylor Swift during the NFL.
Oh, lucky you.
I got you punching the mic right there too. He's really angry today. Actually, on the topic of education, I'm going to give the rare shout out to the Indiana Department of Education. Ooh. Yeah. So personal story into what's going on right now. We were asked last year to kind of get rid of PLTW, and you're a PLTW class as well, Mr. Hegg, so you can attest to this. Sure. We were kind of asked to get rid of PLTW. It is expensive. It's a great program, but it is very expensive per kid. So we went through training. We went through all these hours of training. We were asked to kind of get rid of this program and find a replacement. a pretty arduous task, right? Because this is CS1, CS2, which is AP, and then we're bringing on cybersecurity this year. So we got a couple classes I need to supplant.
Now, can I demonstrate to our
PLTW?
listeners
Yes.
how the state approaches that?
Yes, please do.
Since you're a dedicated teacher who cares about the education of your students, you need to do this.
Yes, basically. Yeah, pretty much.
We'd
So-
like to lower your salary as well.
If we can,
Yeah.
we just need to bring that on the scotch. But we eliminated computer science PLTW here. I started looking for a replacement program. We came across Code HS, which has Indiana standards tied to all of our computer science stuff. So I was on the free version just to test it out for the first 9 weeks. And I had a rep in Chicago. His name's Brandon. He's been really good with me, talking about maybe buying licenses for the pro version of this. And I hadn't talked to him for a couple weeks, and things kind of went quiet, which is never good when the sales rep goes quiet, right? But it turns out I got an email last week from the Indiana Department of Education and Code HS saying that if you were on Code HS, the Indiana Department of Education is paying for your pro license for this year.
Wow.
Right. So that opens up.
That's unprecedented.
It's amazing, right?
Yes.
It's really, really cool. Not any lobbying from me or anything, but I hadn't heard from my rep, so that must have been what was in the works.
Maybe, yeah.
And today was my first day with the pro version. I enrolled in the pro version. The cool thing with Code HS is they give you stipends for going to PD. So like just through their program, they'll give you stipends, and it's in the end of the year kind of thing. But if you go to like what they call a boot camp, you can get $200 every time you go to one of those. And there's all kinds of like adult PE or PD stuff that I can push to everybody else as well here. So I can act kind of like a pivot point. Hopefully it's not one of those that could have been an email, but cool opportunities, really, really cool grade book. You can take attendance inside of this. It's pretty awesome. But thank you to Department of Education. That's really, really big, I thought. And that's saving us a lot of money. It goes through the end of the year. So we'll see if we like the pro version enough to keep it. But we were surviving on the free version. It's just more work for me, which is fine, as long as the kids are getting a good program.
Yeah.
Actually, our kids are a little further along learning-wise than when we had PLTW.
Good.
So this program seems to be working out, and we're having fun doing it. So I thought that was cool. Just thought I'd bring that to everybody's attention. Thought that was pretty neat.
I'm still waiting on a reason to thank the Department of Education.
This is my first reason, so I had to bring it up.
Look, if we're going to rag on them all the time, we got to be willing to
Yeah,
give 'em,
we have to celebrate the high points as well.
celebrate that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you off of PLTW as well,
We
Mr.
are as
Hegg?
well, yeah.
So that was kind of a big thing for us because a lot of our equipment was tied into that curriculum. So like our tablets were tied into MIT App Inventor, our SDVs, our self-driving vehicles were tied into VEX, and we're still going to use them. I don't know how I'm going to introduce them, but we're still going to use that stuff. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Anything else in the rewind section, Stock, that you want to hit before we move on to talk about lists?
Yes.
This could be fun.
I posted yesterday or the day before on Facebook that I could only find the chocolate Christmas tree Little Debbie's. And today at lunchtime when I went through, our good friend Peggy,
Coming through
she had a box of the white ones for me.
all the time.
She
Shout
is
out to
great.
Peggy.
Also, France has just opened a museum of the French language.
That's kind of a big thing there.
Yeah.
Is keeping that as one.
And it's not in Paris. You have to go northeast of Paris to the Picardy region, and it's in the Châteauvilliers Cotterêts, which is a castle up there.
So is that region famous for anything? Because I know the Bordeaux region's famous for wine, obviously. Is that region kind of like...
Something tells me it is, but because it's right next to Champagne, which is famous for champagne,
yeah, absolutely.
it kind of gets overlooked.
It gets overshadowed pretty hardcore.
Yep.
I would imagine so.
And last Friday, the school celebrated my birthday with a block party.
Jeez, here we go. Here we go. Yes. And speaking on the block party, do you want to go ahead and talk about what went on, or do you want me to bring it up? And
The kids got an hour for lunch, and the administration cooked hot dogs and hamburgers, and we ate outside.
yeah, and-
Yeah. Shout out to administration.
Yeah,
yeah, that's always fun to get it kind of away from everything.
yeah.
Afternoon was slightly short in classes, but I didn't really notice a difference. It just went fast after the lunch, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40-minute classes instead of 45. Passing periods were the same. It felt like it went smoothly.
Yeah. It was a
And
great
happy
day.
birthday to Stock because it was all in honor of Stock's birthday.
Of course.
Funny side note.
I am that magnanimous. If my birthday can help others, I will let you use it.
Funny story. It was a couple days, or it was the day before. And I was in the office talking to the ladies in the front office.
Yeah.
And they said, when Stock gets done with the morning announcements, because if you didn't know, Stock does the morning announcements and the pledge and all that stuff. They said, when he gets done with the morning announcements, wouldn't it be funny if we got on and said, happy birthday to Stock? And I said, guys, you're not going to have to worry about it. He's going to shout himself out. So what happened when you got done with the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence, Stock?
That day's trivia note was in 1970 at 12:06 in the afternoon, Covington's French teacher was born.
I love it. I love it. And you have to take every opportunity you can to shout that out. I love it.
Kids, you got to advertise.
That's right.
You got to
Yeah.
advertise.
Speaking of advertisement, the yearbooks are on sale.
The yearbooks are on sale.
You are a
Yes.
big proponent of the yearbook and a big supporter of the yearbook program.
I have one from every year that I've taught. Miss Davis has one from every year that
does?
she's taught.
Those were the two first ones I
Do
always
you have
would get.
yearbooks? Do you
I
keep
don't
them?
have any yearbooks, not even my own senior year.
Really?
Well, we're going to hook you up.
Yeah, I was just hoping that when I came back to work at the school, that the French and home ec teachers would have one for me to look
They would
at.
just give them to you.
Yeah,
This is your return present.
yeah,
When I retire, I'll give you all of
yeah,
those.
You get deeded.
yeah.
But they are $45, I think I saw on the sign, until Christmas.
Yeah.
Right, until Christmas break.
And then they go up to 50.
They go up to 50. So shout out to Mrs. Kemper for taking that over. My stress level is already down a little bit. So good luck to them. Good luck to the yearbook kids. I'm sure they're going to make a great product. And just hearing from the theme that they've already got picked and the templates they're already starting to make, sounds like it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So don't forget to get your yearbooks, guys. It was always Miss Davis, Stock, and the public library in the city of Covington. There were the first three sales I would get every year because they were about it, getting that $5 discount. And then when Mrs. G was here, she would always be one of the first ones.
Hey,
So
the faster you do it, the less you have to think about it.
100%. And if I don't do it immediately, I'm going to forget.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where we are. I forgot to pay for my lunch for the luncheon. So I went down with change today. They said they're going to pick it up at 9. So I went down with change today and paid for it. So we're good. We're good. We get the Methodist luncheon, the chicken noodle dinner, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't think I paid for that.
Yeah, I got you covered, brother. Don't worry about it. So anything else, Doc, we need to mention before we move on?
Yes.
Yes.
Something we mentioned last week.
Yep.
I've got two more things. Well, actually, three. Three more things here. The National Honor Society is still collecting money for Thanksgiving meals.
$25 a piece.
Yep.
Do you know if there's a cutoff date for that, Stock?
I do not know. Do you know
Okay,
that?
I didn't see anything about a cutoff date. But
They had told me it was, I want to say November 10th, I was thinking was.
Okay.
But that would be a Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, that's a Thursday.
No, it's during the week. Yeah.
Friday.
Well, it's soon.
Let me check.
It's soon.
I think.
Well, the
I think
4th
it's a-
is a Saturday.
I think it's the 10th.
The 4th is Saturday, so that'd be a Friday.
yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Because that's when the middle school, high school / middle school is putting on the drama club production.
Right. And that
Is
was
this
the next
Saturday?
thing. Yeah, this Saturday at 7 p.m. in the NPR.
Yes.
The Poe Show.
The Poe Show. That's POE, not the shortened form of poor.
And not Poe Dameron.
No, that's our second Star Wars reference today's talk. It must be Mr. Hegg being on the show. It's causing that.
The superior Star Wars trilogy.
Yes. Oh God, don't say that. That's
And also, this was just added to the calendar.
oh,
On Wednesday, December 6th, Miss Davis has organized a blood drive.
yes.
And she usually does that in the spring, but she's doing it in the fall. Right now, the blood center is crying out for blood donations. So anyone in the community, you're welcome to just walk in. It'll be in the NPR, probably.
I would assume so. Last year they had it across the way, but probably
Sometimes
the NPR.
they've done it in the
Well, and
May gym.
there's not going to be a shortage of blood this year, it looked like, because Courtney was walking around with that list and she had front and back already filled up. So if everybody shows up that said they were going to show up, I think we'll be okay.
Well, if they can accept everyone that signed up.
That's true.
Sometimes they have to
And
turn
Miss
people
Davis
away.
said last year that we were one of the groups that gave a lot of blood or gave some of the more blood. So shout out to the community. Wait for coming out, guys. And the community is invited to that, I believe.
Yes,
so if
definitely.
you're a community member, you want to give blood, come on in. We'll fit you somewhere.
You can walk in or you can call the school if you want to schedule a time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Very cool.
And again, that's December 6th.
Yeah. And that's why they wanted to do 2, I believe, was because we gave so much last year. Yep. Anything else, Doc?
Just my rant.
Just your rant. We'll save that.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Hegg, I want you to take this away. We're going to lists. So do you want to introduce this idea and then...
Sure, yeah. A couple of my classes have been struggling this year to just get going. Good kids, respectful, they've been quiet. But when you're having discussions, when you're giving lectures, talking to yourself or talking to a whiteboard for 40 minutes can get pretty exhausting. And so I've kind of started putting what I call the top 5 things, or Mr. Hegg's top 5 things you probably don't care about list on my board. And it's just, I think the first day we just did something random like the top 5 Mountain Dew flavors.
Ooh.
And you get a lot of random feedback. You get a lot of, you wouldn't expect. Somebody will say something that you hadn't thought about in 15 years. Like, oh, you remember the
Code Red?
Like the original Code Red, or
Yeah.
remember like Pitch Black before the 2010s when it was kind of sour still or whatever. And
Live Wire?
Live Wire, yeah.
Some good stuff.
There was a USA Mountain Dew I didn't really remember or know about. So that was brought to my attention.
Can I just say,
There's like 50 different kinds.
I've only had the regular yellow Mountain Dew.
Okay, that's fine.
Boring.
The Superior. Yeah.
It's so boring. What won that? Do you remember?
Well, I was lucky enough to have fellow Mountain Dew fanatic Emma Holycroft in my class.
It's fair.
I think we agreed. Our top 5s were a little different. One thing that was very common was original and voltage. The blue Mountain Dew.
Voltage? I've never had Voltage.
I think voltage was
Neither have I.
kind of both in our top 3, and so that kind of snuck in there. She liked the USA one that I'd never heard about.
Interesting.
Did Mountain Dew, you're too young maybe. When were you born?
95.
You might be too young. Did Mountain Dew
You don't even have to ask if I'm too young. Oh, I have a story about that too. This
Okay.
is great.
Did Mountain Dew ever have a flavor that felt colder in your mouth than it did in the bottle?
Only for chewing gum. Have you ever done that?
I think that was
Yeah,
the intention of it.
Yeah.
Like they
It felt
marketed
colder?
it as that.
Yeah, it felt colder in your mouth than it did in the bottle.
I can't remember anything off the top of my head. But I mean, I'm not the sole source of Mountain Dew either. We'll call Kelsey. She'll know. She is the Mountain Dew source.
30 years from now, there will be some news article about like, hey, remember that substance, that chemical that was making your mouth feel cold?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's a leading cause of.
It's just asbestos.
Yeah.
You're just drinking asbestos stuff.
Maybe it was Mountain Lightning. I don't know.
Oh, Mountain Lightning could contain tilapia. Have you seen those videos?
No.
Like if you go to Walmart and you take the back of the Great Value products, it says like some random stuff. So like if you're getting nuts, it says could contain tilapia, as an example. It's wild. We need to try it sometime.
Okay.
That'd be a good on location. But yeah, this goes in the rewind section, but I'll talk about it during rants.
Okay.
So it tastes colder in your mouth.
I don't know.
If anybody's out there listening and you want to throw that in the comments, if there's a Mountain Dew that tasted colder in your mouth, then I'm assuming just in the bottle, I have felt cold in the bottle.
Again, I've only had the regular yellow one.
Weird. Did the full sugar end up on the list?
Like the original sugar or the cane sugar, you mean?
Yeah, like the one that says like real sugar.
I think it came up, but it didn't make the list.
Yeah. It just feels like thicker.
But there were various.
It's that lack of aspartame. I need the aspartame.
There's various other topics we had done just to try to kind of. My calculus class really struggles. I just once again, good kids, but just getting them to participate. You almost got to kind of warm them up with a kind of a fun topic beforehand to get them talking. I don't know if it's just because they're so used to being the good students in their class that they kind of just listen and wait for their turn to speak, wait to be called
just
on.
kind of breeze past.
They
that.
definitely don't just shout answers out. And so we've done random things, TV shows, movies, Mountain Dew flavors, all that good stuff.
Yes.
So I thought it could be kind of fun to come on here and kind of get your guys' opinion on a few things. And so I was just kind of,
we'll make the definitive list.
Yeah.
I was just I wanted to come up with something on the fly so it felt genuine. And we've already started arguing a little bit about it. So I'll throw it to the wolves here. Who are the top 5 Star Wars characters?
Ooh,
And I would like to add one, we'll call it caveat maybe.
Okay.
That at least one of them has to be out of the original trilogy, has to be outside of the original trilogy.
Oh, that's
at least
that's the
one.
wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least one. You can do top 4 and then one outsider, but at least one of them's got to. You got to give some love
That's tough.
outside of the original trilogy.
Okay, so do recurring characters outside of the original trilogy count? So like Han was in the new ones.
Yeah, so you're like
So does that count as outside? Probably not, since he
probably not.
We're
no,
talking
but,
introduction.
but you're saying like sequel level writing Han Solo is still top 5 character for you.
I mean, still better than Jar Jar and Boss Nass.
So we'll leave it to you guys.
Wait, what are you saying about Jar Jar?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's a tough one, Stock. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to throw some names out?
Well, of course.
Do Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen count as different?
Yeah, are they?
I would say
different?
I would say young Anakin versus established Anakin.
I mean, the 4 have to be Han, Luke, Leia, and Darth Vader.
You would think.
You would think.
I think it's fair. I think it's a fair argument for those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would put a prequel character above a couple of those. And I wanted to keep the camera on you just to see your face when you reacted to that.
You're going to say Qui-Gon Jinn.
I am going to say Qui-Gon Jinn.
And I'm going to tell you you're an idiot.
I am going to say Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul.
I mean, anyone that doesn't have Obi-Wan, but he's also original.
Yeah. Like the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan?
Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan is a top 5 character.
Ewan McGregor
Yeah, I would say that until the show.
is the best character from...
until the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, until the Disney Plus show.
And really, yeah, just...
Ewan
that just
McGregor,
ruined the character.
Obi-Wan is the best character from the prequels.
I would agree. He's top 2 at least.
definitely.
Obi-Wan is the best character from the prequels. I mean, Jar Jar is in the prequels.
I mean, I'm not even going to say Yoda, because first he was that puppet that looked constipated, and second he was that CGI character that looked CGI'd.
See, I would fight you. I would say Qui-Gon is the best character in the first one.
No.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the first one? Okay. But how do
Because that loss of that battle shifted the entire story. Have you not heard Filoni's rant on this? Like, if Qui-Gon had been there for Anakin, we wouldn't have any of this extra drama.
Which means we wouldn't have the sequels.
Yes, and that's a good thing. How is that a bad thing?
Well, we wouldn't have the original if none of that happened, I suppose. But
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
I'm just saying half of his
camera on
dialogue,
stock, camera on stock.
And it's still on stock. Yeah.
half of his dialogue I could not understand.
Qui-Gon's?
Yes. He was like the bane of Phantom Menace.
Like when he got on his communicator and said, "I will find you.
Like-
I will kill you."
like when he first met...
Did you get the Taken reference at
I
least?
get it. I'm
Okay.
talking through you. When he first met Jar Jar, I could not understand a single thing he said to him.
Yeah, it's because of the beard.
Oh, poor Liam Neeson was trying really hard to not do his normal Irish accent.
He didn't want to do the Liam Neeson.
Accents are not his specialty.
That's fair. And he doesn't change it for any other movie.
Leave the camera on, Damon.
Yes, okay.
I'm going to say something.
Is this a reaction? Is this our thumbnail?
I don't think Liam Neeson is that good of an actor.
You're wrong.
I actually agree with you.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I think I enjoy him. I don't think he's a great actor.
See,
You're
I
wrong.
don't enjoy him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
give
do
you
enjoy him.
I'm gonna give a not safe for work movie to watch of his. Have you watched Kinsey? Where he plays the Professor Kinsey at IU?
I know the character, yes.
Yeah. It's
I've not heard of this.
it's fantastic.
Adult, so wait.
It is adult. There are adult themes. But he's a great actor.
No.
Is it in theaters still? Can my mom just take me?
Yes. Take your camcorder and record it. Yes. Mom, get the car. All right. So what's your rating here, Stock? Your top 5. One has to be outside of the original.
One outside the original.
Yep. That one's easy. Are we counting like Clone Wars and stuff? Because I like Savage Opress
I'm
too.
fine with that. Yeah.
Sabine.
Well, see, this puts me at a disadvantage
Ahsoka.
because in the real world, only the 3 original movies exist.
Yeah, I would extend it to 2 and 3 as
No.
well. Yeah.
And Rogue One.
No,
Yeah, Rogue One's good, but it's anticlimactic because you know what's going to happen.
it is not good.
It is, but
No, it's not.
subjective.
It's got the hallway scene, bro.
Yeah, it's objectively a good
No.
movie, but that's okay.
one of the worst scenes in the whole epic.
No, it tells you that Vader can fly in space because he doesn't need a breathing apparatus.
It's a horrible,
He's standing at the edge of the destroyed ship.
It's a horribly constructed scene. It's out of character
It's
for
beautiful.
Vader.
How is it out of character for Vader?
All right, 5 minutes later, he's on Princess Leia's ship.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, bring me everyone. I want them alive." And, "Oh, a princess. Oh."
It's the worst Vader impression I've ever heard.
Watch out, James Earl Jones. Here comes
Seriously, move over. Here he is.
But see, that's my whole thing. I heard David Messick. He was trying to argue this with me.
Well done.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Vader, he can do cartwheels and throw this and that and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Vader has never been an athletic character.
Have you not read the comics?
Vader has never been an athletic character.
Read the Marvel comics.
Vader has never been an athletic character.
On screen. I will give you that.
Because he doesn't have to be.
Well, no, because he can't, because he's 3/4 machine.
And also, that's part of his imposing persona.
Imposing persona.
If he just walks into a room, you're scared.
Is that the start of a joke? Vader walks into a room.
No, the priest and the rabbi, they're still in the bathroom.
Is that Obi-Wan, the priest?
I think this list has done its job. Stock is officially...
He's flustered.
I'm perturbed.
Yeah.
Well, number one's Luke. I think that's the most compelling character in any of the movies. Until you get to the new movies and they just write him off as a joke.
Yeah, I'm okay with just ignoring those three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Rose Tika, number 2. Just kidding. That's never going to happen.
That's how we win, Craig.
She feels like a late top 10 pick. But
Late time. I would put.
She feels like a bottom top 10.
No, she's not. She doesn't make the list. I really like Adam Driver as an actor.
I don't.
His other stuff.
actor, yes,
his
for
other stuff's fantastic.
yeah.
He's as good as Liam Neeson.
I think.
Not good enough.
I think his character was severely underutilized in the newest 3 movies,
And poorly written.
and they should have written the entire trilogy around him. And like him trying to reconcile who his grandfather really was because he was redeemed at the end. Did he not know that? You know, they did a disservice to Luke because the guy that redeemed the irredeemable is trying to kill his nephew after a bad dream. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Luke until the last trilogy, I put as number 1.
Zach says Ahsoka, but I've got something else to say.
Well, that was going to be, if you were going to give me crap on Qui-Gon, that was going to be my one outside of the main trilogy, is Ahsoka Tano. But I haven't finished the show yet.
The one interesting concept that the sequels brought up had to do with Kylo Ren's character. Luke is always warned, beware the draw of the dark side. Mm-hmm. But here, Kylo Ren, he's feeling the draw of the light side.
Yeah.
That's engaging. And they did absolutely nothing with it.
They should have written the whole trilogy about that.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me on
That's
that?
the most
Yes.
frustrating part about the sequels in general is that they have these morsels of good ideas
Yeah.
and just no direction.
No follow through.
No follow through. No, like they made one movie after the other. They didn't write for 3 movies and make them.
Yeah.
They had no idea where they wanted to
Yeah.
finish it.
And it ends with, they fly now? They fly now.
So like Maz Katana, is that one of our... Is that one? I would say, okay. I'm going to do my list.
There you go. List it is.
Here we go. Okay, like due to importance in the story and just how much I like the character.
Okay.
Number 1's Luke. Number 2, Han Solo. Because he's redeemed. I will say that the Solo movie did dampen his effect on all the movies in general.
That's why it doesn't exist in my world.
Yes. So I don't know if you know this, Mr. Hegg, but I have a theory that because of the Solo movie, it lessens his character when he comes back and saves everyone in episode 4.
Completely agree.
Definitely.
We
Yeah,
don't.
because we know he's a hero at this point.
Yeah, we shouldn't. He wasn't a hero before this. You're right. Yeah, I agree.
I would say Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia because she's a super important character. I really wanted to say Bail Organa because I really like Jimmy Smits from NYPD Blue.
I don't like Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith.
You don't like Jimmy Smits? So that's my 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, wait, Craig.
Yes.
Question.
Yes. I need to put a creature on this list.
You say Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia?
God, stop that. Stop that. Hey, she was a better actress dead than most of the people in the rest of the movie. I need to put a creature on the list. Actually, Qui-Gon's number 4. And I need to round it out with a creature. It's either going to be, I'll let you guys choose. It's either going to be Sebulba, Chewbacca,
Sebulba, that's a good one.
Chewbacca, or Jabba the Hutt. I left Boba off this because it was ruined in the Disney Plus shows.
I would say Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's a pretty important character because he has a through line throughout all of them.
Yeah.
Say Sebulba.
Sebulba, he does have a through line as well, right? Because he's the one that sells Anakin. He starts the whole journey.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
And he's a Doug, and he drives with his feet. Stop. That's a pretty important characteristic.
But look at Chewbacca.
Yeah.
This was one of the good things about the prequels, heaven help me, I said that.
I only chose Chewbacca because of the celebration of Life Day. You've seen it.
Oh, well, then my choice has to be Lumpy.
Yes. Itchy.
Itchy.
Have you seen the holiday special, Mr. Hegg?
I've only heard Legends.
For Christmas one year, I burned DVDs for everybody. We'll do that again.
When you need to.
Yeah, that'll be flash drives this time.
Yeah.
Modern technology.
What was I going to say?
It was about Lumpy, and it's a very inappropriate scene that he's in the holiday
Who
special.
was that? Was that Diane Cannon?
Well, B. Arthur was in it.
Yeah.
There was Jefferson Starship.
Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman was in it, just for like 5 seconds.
Art Carney.
Yep. A young Luke Skywalker
Very young.
before reconstructive surgery.
A Harrison Ford who could not care.
He couldn't have cared any less to be there.
You can understand how these get out of hand and off topic, and we don't do any teaching at all.
Hey, I got my 5 done. Stock, do you have your 5?
I'm going to say number 1, Luke.
Yep.
Number 2, original trilogy Vader, because he's a compelling character.
Okay.
Number 3, Han, because he was my favorite of all of them.
Sure.
4, Leia.
Okay. So you've got the power couple in there. You're a scruffy looking nerf herder.
Do I want Leia in there, though?
Would you rather have Natalie Portman?
But
Because Mr. Hegg's of the generation that's going to choose Natalie Portman over
it's
Carrie
not
Fisher.
Natalie Portman. She's a cow. Anyway,
Shots fired. You hear that, Natalie Portman? Forget your rap,
prove me wrong.
right?
No, but after putting the information in R2-D2, what did she do in the story?
She was the spark that started the fire. That led to, I mean, she did. We did see she trained later on.
Yeah.
She's royalty, man. She kept the entire galaxy together.
I understand that, but
You're talking on-screen stuff?
for character development, motivation, for story development, honestly,
She did the Mary Poppins
she.
in space. That's awesome.
I'm talking about original trilogy.
I mean, I'm just giving you facts.
And my sister has it.
Yeah, and she made out with her brother. So that's cool. This show does not sponsor making out with your brother.
No, definitely not.
She did, though. That was awkward.
I know. She didn't know it at the time. Neither did he.
She killed Jabba the Hutt, who was the leader of
All
the
right,
entire
that's
planet.
true. All right, I'll give her that. And she did it in a bikini.
She did. And
Okay.
that look is still iconic.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. So okay.
Choked him to death. That was
Leia's
kinda
on
cool.
there.
Yeah.
So she's number 4. Who's my number 5?
Jeremy Bullock,
He's a good one.
the original.
The
Boba Fett.
original.
Yeah.
But I was actually thinking either the 21B medical droid or Lobot.
I thought she's one of like the mouse droids. I mean, neither one of us put R2 or C-3PO.
No. And the stories are actually told through their eyes.
Yeah.
I think R2 would sneak on my list.
Yeah.
R2's pretty important.
I mean, he's in top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Both of them are in
I
top
And
10.
his eyes don't turn red when they put different chips in them. We're ignoring those movies, aren't we?
You're
Okay.
ignoring.
You almost have to have them as like 1A, 1B, or like, whatever number they're set.
Well, they go as a duo.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Do you have a top 5 for this, Mr. Hegg?
Yeah, I think I could whip one up.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I grew up with the prequels. I was the right age for that to enjoy those. So they have a soft spot for them. So I'd probably put Obi-Wan at number 1 for me. Just pretty much everything he's been in except for Kenobi. Whether
Yeah,
it's
that's
Clone
rough.
Wars, whether it's the prequels, whether it's the original trilogy.
Do you have more of an affinity for Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, or Alec Guinness and Obi-Wan?
For me, it's Ewan McGregor. I also just have an affinity for Ewan McGregor, period.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Man Crush Tuesday. Monday?
Man Crush Monday.
Monday, all right.
There we
Man
go.
Crush Monday. Yeah, cool.
We're on schedule.
All right, Paul Rudd. Who's your man crush?
I don't know that. Liam Neeson, apparently. I was told today that he's a terrible actor.
Well, wake up and smell the coffee.
Fair enough.
Wait, we're getting into Damon's time.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, probably Vader / Anakin, and it's in his entirety, all 6 movies. I thought, despite the rough writing in the first 2 movies, the arc overall, I thought was really well done. Once you kind of get the Clone Wars in there, especially. So that's probably my two. Qui-Gon's probably in there for me as well. Once again, just the first movie I ever saw. I think I saw the prequels before I saw the originals.
It's you, Stuck.
You two need to respect your elders.
I saw where'd you see The Phantom Menace? You remember?
Lafayette.
I saw it in Attica at the Devon.
Midnight.
Yep. Midnight showing. I was with Jim Ashley and Michael Berry and Jared Black. So shout out to those guys.
Here's one that hasn't come up yet as well. Din Djarin, The Mandalorian, probably number 4 for me.
Really?
I also really like Pedro Pascal.
Well, I mean, Pedro Pascal is awesome.
Well, yeah. You remember him in Wonder Woman 84?
Oh, yeah.
I try not to.
He was terrible. That movie was terrible. Stock, this is a hot take, and I know you're not going to agree with me. Wonder Woman 84 was hot garbage.
All right, get the camera on me.
Hot garbage.
Get the camera on
You're
me.
on. You're on.
Okay. I know it had its problems, but it's not as bad as what people say.
You realize the implications
the
of the guy that
prequels.
was mind controlled, right?
Yes.
Okay. That makes it super sketchy for me.
You want to know how to fix it?
We already know how to fix it. Don't make it.
Get rid of all the male characters. You don't need them.
Okay.
Barbara is still jealous of Diana.
Okay.
As she's doing her work at the museum, she comes upon this information. Oh, there's a stone that can grant your dreams.
Yeah.
So she goes off. Everyone at the museum, where's Barbara? Where's Barbara? Diana, because she's Wonder Woman and she has all of this education and everything, she looks on her desk and she's like, oh my gosh, she can't be serious. She can't do that because she knows the badness that it is. So she goes after her. At their first encounter, Wonder Woman has miscalculated how strong Barbara is now, and she loses. She's, taken in, healed, helped by, if you need a male character in there, if you want to diversify things.
Chris Pine.
No. Marvel or DC has a character called El Dorado. He's Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a magician, kind of like their version of Doctor Strange.
Diversity fix right there.
Bring him in, and then he and Wonder Woman together can stop Barbara. Cheetah.
This guy.
Now that we've lost all of our viewers, I'd like to finish my list with number 5 coming in, Christopher Lee's Count Dooku.
Ooh, he does lose a head.
Yeah, but
Nobody with Grievous either. Or Palpatine.
Well,
Palpatine's a good answer.
That's what Zach says. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe that's why I discredited Palpatine from the last movie. Nobody with Grogu. I'm assuming because we're men
and older than 12.
and older than 12.
Yeah.
And not really into that the whole group.
Yeah.
I like him as a character.
Yeah.
I like the mystery.
But again, like Leia, what does he do for the story?
Dude, have you seen him flip on rocks?
Yes.
I mean, it's adorable.
I saw him in the IG-88 thing going, no, no, no.
Is that from the new season?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new season.
Okay.
Spoiler, if you haven't seen the new season,
You've had time.
I've had way too much time. We're on a trial right now, Disney Plus. I'm trying to binge everything, but we just end up with Halloween Town every night. So
Classics.
By the way,
And
have you guys seen Hocus Pocus 2?
No.
No.
Watch Hocus. You guys have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch Hocus Pocus 2. Tell me the lead teenage girl does not look exactly like Emmy.
Okay.
It's her doppelganger. I showed her today. She's like, it is me.
I have it illegally.
Stop. You can't say that on air.
Okay. Edit that out.
It's mine.
Edit point.
Passwords. That's not any better. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen The Mandalorian's newest season. I haven't made it through Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make it through the first episode. I tried.
Oh, okay.
It was not well constructed. I was mad actually, kind of halfway through, and I fell asleep. It's a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
No, I mean the viewers.
Zach,
I can hear it through my.
Zach, can you hear
Yeah, Zach, can you hear it? I like that list. I like Dooku on the list.
Yeah.
Dooku was a fun one.
More like Dookie.
Christopher Lee's great.
Classic.
God,
Christopher Lee is just an absolute.
he's a beast. He
Just
tears
a
up
beast.
scenery.
Yeah.
And I like to think like in the hangar fight scene that he's just doing all of these hand motions to nothing.
Yeah.
Like instead of, like when he's fighting Yoda.
Or that he's, like 85 when that scene takes place.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's definitely not doing any of the moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Vader athleticism coming in.
What about Grand Moff Tarkin?
I don't want to be Grand Moff Tarkin. What's that from? Can't Hardly Wait. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's fantastic.
That's a character that's not really been fleshed out. Not that maybe he doesn't need to, but like he's one that's kind of been left relatively untouched.
And there's a CG version of him now, which is uncanny.
And that
Unreal
pathetic
Valley.
Rogue One, which doesn't need to exist.
You got there. It was good. Yeah.
I do not care for it.
He doesn't like it.
So you guys can imagine how this, while fun, this can get the kids a bit off topic.
It goes off the rails pretty
off
quick.
the rails pretty quick. But it's,
You're also dealing with two of the most scattered people you know.
when railroaded properly, it's it can be fun. But
yeah. I mean that's a pretty impassioned topic as well.
Maybe I won't say unintentional, but that was a divisive topic for sure.
Man, what about the little ball? You didn't pick him. Don't you like him?
What's his name?
From the new ones? Isn't it Bill Hader that does the sounds for him?
BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8.
I thought you meant the flying ball.
That they
No. No. The training droid?
Yes.
Jeez. Perfect.
pull it together.
I did.
Perfect.
Can I just say this about, what was the last one? The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called.
They had a new robot even smaller than BB-8. It was green, had kind of a cone nose.
Oh, he was like a mouse
white and
droid.
green.
Yeah.
I thought he was kind of cute.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, so are the Porgs,
No, they
but we're not
they're
putting them on the list.
What about those nun frogs?
The Nun Frogs, from the island.
This is a strictly hate on sequel
Why not?
podcast. We will not be taking positive comments at this moment.
No pot shots at the original trilogy, and we just bash on the newest one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I haven't seen them enough to actually.
Surprised those rules
bash
aren't
on
up
them.
on the room, aren't up on the wall somewhere.
We need to. When we get our wall from behind
Yeah,
you,
strictly.
that'll be on the wall. Oh my gosh.
I've seen Force Awakens 3 times.
I enjoy that.
What's the next one? Last Jedi once and Rise of Skywalker once.
Yes, I've seen them all. I think I've seen Force Awakens twice, and then the other one's just once.
Yeah.
I've seen The Force Awakens maybe a dozen times.
That's your own fault.
I enjoy okay, so the threads are there, right?
I
So
agree.
you start with like the mystery of who Rey's family is, and it's only ruined by the other 2 movies. You can be honest; it's only ruined by the other 2 movies.
But it's not.
As much as I hate giving J.J. Abrams credit, the first movie's not terrible. You've got your original characters. The only thing I would pick at on that one is killing Han off so quick.
You feel like it's a bit too similar to A New Hope as well?
You know,
It's identical to
It's
Yeah,
not
that's what
identical. I've heard that argument too. I don't think it's that
think-
close.
yeah.
I think the Kylo Ren stuff is enough to make it its own movie. I understand it's a giant space laser that's built out of a planet. I get that. I do like the allusions to the Nazi regime because you see how bad the Empire actually is.
yeah,
Because in the first
Scar-
couple of movies, they're not that bad.
Scar did that in The Lion King.
Yeah, be prepared. Be prepared, Stock, for The Force Awakens not being a terrible movie.
But it is.
It's not. Okay, so you can land the Millennium Falcon out of hyperspace and skid it across snow. We didn't know that before.
Han can.
No, he wasn't. Nope.
Who's flying it then?
No one, because it was skidding across snow. No one was flying it.
Han was at the controls, though.
He was, but he was just doing this.
Now, you stick Rey at the controls. She's...
Yeah, but she has the Force. She would have done better.
I would like to take this moment to apologize to listeners for bringing up this topic.
I will die on this hill. Force Awakens is not a terrible movie.
I will die on this hill. Yes, it is.
Explain.
Man.
And then we'll get to your rant. So this will fire you up for your rant.
The characters are poorly written. Their personalities, their motivations.
If it's the same movie as the first movie, then you're giving the same criticism to the first movie. Are the characters horribly written in A New Hope?
No,
Thank you. I rest my case.
because A New Hope isn't a movie. Star Wars is a movie.
Well, it's Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope now.
No, it's Star Wars.
Thank you, Disney. No, that's Fox, right?
Time to
That's Fox.
get with the times. It's A New Hope now.
No,
20th Century Fox, right? Because they didn't get the rights back to that until they bought Fox.
yeah, it was 20th Century Fox.
Because it was one of the movies was different than the others in licensing. I think that was that one. So it's A New Hope. New Hope. I like Kylo Ren. I think he's compelling.
I don't.
Well, that's the argument.
Potential was there.
I think he's too immature to be threatening.
We
supposed to be
saw
young,
Baby
though, yeah.
Vader, dude. The sand. I hate the sand. It gets everywhere.
My name is Anakin, and I'm a person.
Wizard. See, we had Baby Vader, so I'm a little more forgiving on Kylo Ren. Hey, he lives in Indianapolis. If you guys want to throw sand at his door, I'm not saying go do that, but he does live in Indianapolis. Jake
all
Lloyd.
dress up.
His name's Jake Lloyd. He got picked up for DUI a couple times.
Let's all
a couple
dress
years
up
ago.
like Anakin and go trick-or-treating at his house.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible. It'd be hilarious, but terrible. I'm not saying throw sand at his door.
Can I be Clone Wars Anakin with the rat tail?
Oh, please do. That would be perfect. You're already wearing the
Dibs.
you're already wearing the brown.
Yeah,
Right?
dibs.
Oh man, that'd be so good. Stock, you had a rant. You had one rant.
I just want to tell people, Craig and I do this sometimes.
This is legitimately like our McDonald's table conversation.
Well, we were driving back from you were driving the car from a Cubs game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else was asleep, but Ryan told me before he fell asleep, keep Craig awake. Oh.
As he falls
As he
asleep.
falls asleep.
This is your job now.
So,
He wasn't dying in a movie.
Basically, he melted away.
Do one last thing for me.
Right. It's the Back to the Future picture.
Craig, awake. And he just
Just fades away into the background of the picture.
no, so that's when we argued Marvel characters.
Yes, that is true. One of the many times. Stock.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Your rant.
Rant. This is a rant we both share.
Oh, okay.
We had the band and choir concert last Thursday, and they both did a great job.
Correct.
Actually, several bands. We had middle school and high school bands.
Yeah.
Everyone did great. Were you there?
I was not able to make it. No.
Okay.
Shout out to Aiden for that solo.
Yeah.
That was
I
awesome.
did see a video of this.
amazing.
He did a nice
that was
job.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job.
But what is our complaint, Craig?
That I had to be there.
Yeah, because Kelsey wasn't feeling good.
Kelsey wasn't feeling great, and well, I have a niece and a nephew in it,
Yeah.
so I have to be there
Yeah.
anyway. Hey, shout out to Mr. Hess. He ran all the sound and everything by himself.
He did a great job.
So that was awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
for the time off.
And do you know his own son was giving a band concert in Danville?
We should have simulcast.
He's a senior over in Danville.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Lets people know.
Our rant is the noisy and rude audience.
Yes, like slamming the doors.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give you that one.
Yeah. And clomping down the stairs.
So if you guys have ever watched Stock and I during a band concert, we always have an eye on the door, and we see people when they're running towards the door, and we try to get there and close it as softly as we can, just because we don't want to interrupt the band concert. Like if parents or grandparents or even the school's recording it, or just for the atmosphere, don't slam the doors during the middle of a flippin' song.
Yeah.
And I looked at you several times, you looked at me several times, and we were both getting mad at the same time.
Yes.
But yeah, that is a shared rant, and unfortunate that it happens so often.
Yeah.
It was probably 20 times during that concert.
And if you need to walk up and down the bleachers squeak.
Yeah.
Try to be as light-footed as possible.
And man, and there were some very respectful kids
Yeah.
that did sneak out to go to the bathroom
Yeah.
and then come back in and close it very nicely. But that was not the majority of people
They're
that
few
did.
and far between.
So just, try to be polite.
Well,
That's all we're
It's a
asking.
similar issue with the senior play.
Yeah.
Shout out senior play.
Yeah.
So
you always say you hate people complaining if they don't have a solution.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Your solution.
These are some solution ideas. I can't say that all of them would work. I don't know where to start.
Well, we're here to shoot you down.
Okay. Solution number 1, stay in your seat.
Bathroom. It was only an hour
are
concert.
we supposed to play devil's advocate
If
on
you
these?
want to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here you took it. So,
Okay.
But Stock, I have to use the restroom.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Now that does make sense during like the senior play if it's a long play.
Sure. Absolutely.
But you guys have intermission.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's really no excuse for it.
Right.
It was an hour concert. I think the sixth grade band had 3 songs. They were really quick. Seventh and eighth grade band had one longer song. And then the high school band and choir did 3 to 4 songs each, and not super long songs to begin with.
Yeah.
You can hold it.
Plus-
especially if you go right before.
There's changeover time between each group.
Yeah.
Go then.
Perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I did. I went up and checked on Kelsey
Yeah.
between the band. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, solution number 2. Parents teach your kids audience manners.
Yeah, that's something that doesn't really get covered ever, right?
Yeah.
It's like, where do you learn that?
I think
Is that like a common sense thing, mostly?
I think it's an offshoot of be courteous to others.
Okay. Be kind, rewind.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
the younger generation realizes the amount of effort and dedication that it takes to learn an instrument or to sing a song.
Especially at the lower levels.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time you've ever come into something like that.
Yeah.
And you have to learn embouchure before you even learn notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make a sound, a joyous noise, as it
Yeah.
were.
Be respectful of that.
Yeah.
These
No.
people have worked hard. All right, kids, don't be rude.
Oh, and okay, so a real world example of this, we didn't have these problems at the last convocation.
No, we didn't.
Our kids sat in their seats. They were very respectful to the guy that gave the speech.
Yeah.
When they gave out the notebooks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of kids came up to him and were really courteous and kind after the actual presentation. So we didn't have any of those problems. Maybe that's because it's at school during the school day.
Yeah.
And the expectations are different. I don't know if that's part of it. But that makes it more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because the kids did great. So I don't know.
Audience etiquette. Should it be added into the program? Should it be taught in a class? If so, which class?
Well, they used to have the silence your cell phones on the program.
Yeah.
I didn't look this time to see if it was there
I don't think it would.
because I didn't really have to run sound.
Yeah.
Which, once again, shout out to Mr. Hess. Shout out to Tony for Fields of Faith. This is great. If I can push this off on other people, that'd be amazing. But no, I completely understand and I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
End rant.
Yes, rant is over.
Here's my rant.
Go for it.
This is an aging rant. And I don't think I've told either of you this yet, because
strap in.
Are you incontinent?
I'm on the continent of North America. We went to the pumpkin patch last week.
Okay.
Super fun day. Pumpkin patch is awesome. It was a Hogwalla farm. Okay. So if you get a chance to go there, they got huge slides. I fit through them, so you will fit through them. But they're fun. Great time. But on the way there, my car had a flat tire.
Oh, no.
Ran into a flat tire right across from a church. The church was letting out. A bunch of people walked out. One guy came over and said, "Hey, I noticed you had some young ones, plural. Do you need help?" I was there with Kelsey and Nora. He thought that Kelsey was my daughter.
Okay. This took a different turn.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to complain about the potholes or something that gave
No potholes or anything. I'm apparently a 90-year-old man trying to change his tire right by railroad tracks. But there's my rant.
There's something called Just for Men.
Yeah.
You can get it.
It's called shaving my beard.
Yeah, that might work too.
So I don't look like William Lee Golden. Deep cut for Oak Ridge Boys fan. William Lee Golden.
Not an Oak Ridge
That
Boys
one's for
fan.
Ryan.
Ryan doesn't know how to work technology.
He doesn't know how to get on YouTube.
He doesn't even watch us.
Can you stream on eBay? Mr. Hegg, do you have a rant? Is anything bothering you?
Let's rant.
Have you gotten your pail yet at McDonald's?
No, I haven't.
We got a purple one. They got the purple ones right now. They're vampire.
Okay, that's
They're really
where I'm headed
good.
after this.
Yep.
Make it fast, Damon. I need to get a pail.
He's got to get the purple one. All of them look good except for orange.
This isn't an invitation to TP my house, but this is like the third year in a row that someone's tried to TP my house and done just an absolutely atrocious job.
I know they don't care anymore.
No. And this isn't
Just
one of
low
those
effort?
like back in my day where you did such a good job, the kids these days suck. No, it's just I don't know if it's my 100-pound dog barking in the front window that scares them off halfway through. I don't know if it was because it started raining last night, or 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think I like maybe 2 rolls in a bush, and they left a whole I wouldn't call it a bag. You wouldn't a whole probably 4 or 5 actual full rolls of toilet paper.
Oh, that's a
were
boon for you.
lightly damp when I got home. Just use those suckers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just for their own honor and self-respect, I just want them to do a better job. That's my rant.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I was the Picasso of TPing houses. It wasn't really my thing, but yeah, just expect more from these little heathens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they get the good toilet paper at least?
It's very low ply, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah. So, but you make do with what you can when it comes to free toilet paper.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
it's hotel quality.
yeah, and not like our questionably a motel even.
Oh, so like a 6.
Yeah.
Like a 4.
Yeah, but
Hotel 4.
Yeah.
A tel 4. Because they keep dropping it down on the peg.
Or maybe 3.5.
Right.
Less of a rant, more of a disappointment, I suppose.
There we go. And now into the investment engagement part, D&D.
Oh yeah.
So kids that do want to get involved and get
I'm
invested.
checking out.
Stock, you checked out mentally a long time ago. After I called you out on The Force Awakens not being a terrible movie, you were just angry. So kind of a movement at this point. We've got several kids involved or wanting to be involved in D&D, and you want to kind of bring that to us and what that entails and what we kind of want out of this?
Sure. I think we've talked a little bit about, kind of why we want to do it. And we can get into that a little bit more, but I think just the big thing what we want to see, we need from the kids is just a consistent group of kids that are interested in meeting, whether it's during lunch, during maybe 1 or 2 homerooms a week. That's kind of hard to do because we don't want to take away from other classes.
Sure.
Just get consistent. The one thing it seemed like the kids agreed on in the meeting was that they want a consistent time where they can meet and play Dungeons and Dragons. For those of you that don't know what D&D stands for,
yeah, get educated.
Yeah, and we just kind of wanted to try to provide an opportunity or a supervisor for that to happen at the school. I think both of us have participated in some D&D before. I think we both enjoyed it. I think both of us would like for it to be better for them than it was for us, type of thing. We want to try to provide them with as many opportunities and materials as we can, resources, so that they can have a good time doing it. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do it is it's something I've done with my friends. It's really easy when I was growing up to grab a football or a basketball and go play sports with your friends. It's become much more like socially acceptable now. But also
since the Stranger Things.
Yeah, since Stranger Things. But also just there's still just not a lot of opportunity for your average person to even kind of figure out what that means, or where do I start, who do I play with? Because much like some of those sports, you need a group of people to play, or at least 2 or 3. And we just kind of want to, maybe some people in the school, maybe whether it's a freshman and a senior that have never talked to each other before, but don't realize they have the same interest, or just classmates that don't even realize that they both have wanted to play the same game for months or a year now. And we just kind of want to do a call out for that and see what kind of interest we got back. And I think you told me there was a good 15 to 20.
Yeah. We got a nice little email list. So when we're ready to have our next meeting, I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah. And that's kind of one of those onloading things, right? So some sports require different equipment. They require a big investment. Mm-hmm. D&D, it's not as big of an investment initially, but you need to find a place to play. Yeah. You need to find a group to play with. And that's kind of the first big hurdle that we're going to try to alleviate by having it here at school, having a regular game, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, that we can get. And that was kind of like the big push was we just want something that we can play weekly.
Yeah,
absolutely. We want a regular game. And with that big of a group, we can have multiple campaigns and like beginner, moderate, or medium, and then like a hard level kind of campaign. A lot of cool options we have.
Sure, absolutely.
And the further we go, and Stock, you can comment on this as well. The further we go, it seems like those instances that Mr. Hegg talked about where a senior and a freshman have never talked in a small school becomes more common than not. Mm-hmm. And you see that as well, I'm assuming.
Yes, definitely.
So like, we think this is a great way to kind of alleviate that. And even kids in the same class. Like I've had kids sitting in my classroom and I'll mention somebody in their grade, in their class, and they go, who are you talking about? Because they have different schedules. If it's a new kid, they probably never talked to them, and just kind of creating opportunity. So I'm really excited about this. I think Mr. Hegg, you're really excited about this. We're looking maybe after Christmas.
Hopefully.
Don't want to put anything definite in there, but
sure.
I think that could be really cool. Stock, are you going to come in and DM for us?
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Now's the perfect opportunity.
I've never seen the movie with Tom Hanks where he goes crazy.
Is it Tom Hanks in that? I thought it was Chris Pine.
It is Chris Pine, but is there an old movie called that?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Did we miss something?
A Tom Hanks movie though?
Yes.
He's going to look it up. It's going to be Polar Express.
Zach, look it up for me, please.
Zach, look it up. Throw it in text message. If I hear, I'll know Zach's gotten back to you. There is a new movie though, Chris Pine, and it's fantastic. I had a really good time with it.
Sneaky good movie, yeah.
Yes, we really enjoyed it.
Also the cartoon. The 80s cartoon.
Well, yeah.
The trailer for the movie did not do it any justice. The trailer, it looked like one of those most generic movies. Like, oh, D&D's big right now. Let's make a movie on it. Let's just a cash grab. And I was like, I don't want.
It's got so much life in it, though.
Somebody talked me into going and see it, and so I.
Oh, and who was that somebody, Damon? Ooh, my girlfriend. Ooh.
So somebody talked me into going and seeing it, and so I took my girlfriend to watch it, and we had a blast. Yeah, her knowing basically nothing about Dungeons and Dragons and really having no interest in high fantasy type stuff at all, enjoyed it as well. And so
super enjoyable.
Yeah, very good movie. Yeah,
very high level stuff.
Who was the bad guy in the 80s cartoon?
Oh,
he wore like a big red dress and he had one horn coming out the side of his head.
Say red dress.
It was kind of like a cloak thing.
Do you want me to look this up, or is Zach on this?
Zach, get on it. We need 1980s Tom Hanks movie.
If we were Joe Rogan, he'd be Jamie. Zach would.
What's the Theo Von guy? He has one as well.
Oh, he does. What's his name? Shoot. So does So does Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
They've got a guy like that too. We need a guy. Stock, we need a guy to do that. Just like look stuff up here for us here. Is that just me?
We've got Zach.
It's Zach. Sorry, Zach. Sorry, Zach. But yeah.
Is he commenting there?
Is he? Because he's dropping the ball here? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's not texting me.
What a jerk.
We probably lost him in the...
He's trying to look it up. He's on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Those...
Zach, get with the program.
Figure it out. Are we ready for speed round?
Oh, here he is.
Did he figure anything out? No, it's just an emoji.
Oh, it was called Mazes and Monsters.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on being half right.
Wow. Do you want to put that into the camera? I wonder if they can see that from here. It's Mazes and Monsters, guys. And it's a very young Tom Hanks.
Is that still an early comedy Tom Hanks?
Is that like Bosom Buddies Tom Hanks, or is that like big?
Probably around that era, yes. But in it, he starts playing a game like Dungeons and Dragons, but of course they can't call it Dungeons and Dragons. And he gets mentally unstable somehow, and he believes that that real life is the game.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's kind of like Jumanji, which I love. The new Jumanjis are amazing.
It's not a tumor.
That's Arnold. Speed round.
Speed round. Damon.
Yes.
What brought you to Covington?
My parents, when I was literal months old.
Swaddled in cloth.
Yeah.
So where did they come from?
Both of them were both also born in Covington. Country outside of Covington. And then my mom was raised in the country outside of Covington. All of her siblings went to Vetersburg or went to Fountain Central, but for some reason she went to Covington. Lucky me, met my dad who was from Covington, the town of Covington, and went to school here. They went away for a while to Indianapolis and IU Bloomington and all that good stuff, and brought me back here when, I don't know, maybe a month or two old, and I've basically, other than going to Indy myself for 4 years for college, I've been here basically my whole life. So
okay,
welcome back.
And a summer in France.
Oh yeah, and 2 summers in France.
2 summers in France.
Yeah, I'll know. Stock and I always have Paris.
World travelers.
Yeah,
that's romantic.
As the generations change, your dad is kind of turning into Mr. Covington.
Yeah, that's not something I really remember or noticed when I was growing up a whole lot. I don't enjoy when people say this in Covington, but anytime you coach or you're a part of sports, you always have those parents or those players that kind of want to say, like, I don't have the right last name. And it's like, that's not what it's about. But anyway, when I was growing up, though, like, while I don't really believe that had any effect on my playtime in games or how teachers treated me or whatever, I never really thought like I had a name, even though Heggs had been going to Covington before. And they, plenty of people, I thought people knew my mom and dad. And I never felt like Hegg was like a household name in the town. And once I got out of high school, suddenly Todd becomes like mayor level popular. For those that don't know, Todd is my father.
He's in the Julie's Morning Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Todd Hegg. And Yeah, he got famous a little too late because I didn't get a benefit from it. Who knows? Maybe I would start at varsity as a freshman if he'd.
Oh, there you go. Dream big.
Yeah, dream big. That was always my goal in life. I always wanted to be small town famous. But no, yeah, he's kind of become one of the people to know, and if not that, he seems to know everybody.
Yeah.
If Covington had an Illuminati, he would be in it.
You'd have Ketty Sowers,
Jerry
Crane.
Oh wait, wouldn't that be an Illuminati?
Ooh, I like it. T-shirt.
I like to call him the Todd Father.
Yes, T-shirt idea. Write that down.
Yep.
I love it.
Question 2: what does Trojan pride mean to you?
I mean, I really think it's just about as simple as taking pride in just what you do, and just so happens to be you're from Covington. Honestly, I think if everybody that goes to school here, lives here, just kind of takes pride in what they do, just so happens to live in Covington and just so happen to do those things for this specific community, that's Trojan pride right there. I mean, I love when people do things for Covington that don't live here anymore, because they still care about it and they still have a passion for it. You can call that Trojan pride as well, but mostly just the people that aren't ashamed, to not be ashamed to be here. I think it's easy now to be like, oh, freaking small school, I want to go to yada yada yada, or if I was playing basketball at this school, or if I lived in Indy, there'd be so many more options, but no, the people that are just like, hey, yeah, I'm born in Covington, making the best of it. I love it here. This is my friends at. This is my family's at. Yeah, maybe I'll move away in some time or some point in my life, but this is it. I'm okay. I like being here, and I'm going to be the best person I can be here. It's like, don't complain that there's not enough opportunities for you here. Make those opportunities. And I love to see when people do that. I think we do have a handful of people that do that still in the school. I think we have teachers that do that. I think we have community members. I think we have students. I won't say they're few and far between in comparison, because I don't really remember it much from when I was in school. I don't really remember what it was like when you were in school, and so I don't know. But
you weren't alive when I was in school.
No one was. Stock, do you want to show that to the camera? You're on camera.
His name is Venger, everyone.
It's a nice red dress.
Yeah.
You did get the red horn right, though.
The one horn.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thanks, Zach.
I don't know if you guys have answered this multiple times on your own podcast, but do you guys have a definition of Trojan pride?
We have multiple definitions. So we've heard, Stock. Well, this is 8. We've heard this 33 times, probably. Well, probably 30 with the ones with just us. Do you have like a summative definition at this point, or have you gained or added or subtracted from your own definition over the course of this time?
It's hard to answer because it's an abstract concept.
Sure.
And I think it's always growing, developing. When I came to Covington, my Trojan pride was, all right, I'm a teacher at Covington now. I need to support everyone. As, I guess, a legacy teacher, can I call myself that?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. As a legacy
you're
teacher.
Put your years down on a sheet, apparently.
Yeah.
I just saw that sheet when I sat myself, and you're near the bottom. Like, as far like it goes, least amount of years all the way to the bottom most years, and you're in the
I'll be in the middle.
tier.
I think I'll be in the middle somewhere.
Probably.
Am I in the middle?
Yeah.
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 Well, I've seen so many ideas come and go, so many catchphrases come and go.
Absolutely.
Trojan pride has gotten lost. It got lost, especially with COVID and everything. And we were just trying to keep everything afloat. But bringing it back, I'm kind of redefining what Trojan pride is.
Yeah.
Is it as simple as holding a door open for somebody?
Sure. And I think even when I was on the podcast last season, I don't know what you guys are calling last year's podcast, but
season 2.
Was he on?
Yeah.
Yes, I told you this.
Whoops.
When were you on?
You're like, man, I wouldn't have asked him back on if I knew. We talked a little bit about the senior play at the end of the year last year.
I do not remember that.
Well,
I was not girls soccer.
I was not very impressionable. But yeah, I think my answer
guy
was even different. So it happens.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I really like Mrs. Smalt's definition. So I always default back to that.
Okay.
With a sprinkling of everybody else's, where hers was the school is the community is the school.
Yeah, sure.
So like they interact with each other. They are one animal, and that's why we have so much of this community outreach and like former community members getting back to us and, donating or supporting, is because they feel that sense of community. Even though they don't live in the town anymore, they still feel that sense of community, and that drives them, at least with a sense of Trojan pride.
Yeah.
So I always like that definition.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's fading in a lot of small towns. I don't think it's going to stay. Just because we're a small town doesn't mean we're safe from that happening.
Well,
to us, it can happen.
The further we go down the road, the less isolated we are from everyone as well.
Yeah.
It's easy to get here. It's easy to talk to people from here. So we get the news the day of instead of being, well, what they used to say, 20 to 40 years behind the big cities. So we're right there with everybody.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Stock?
Has there been a person or an event that has impacted your life?
Specifically from Covington or just in general?
In general.
Kind of changed the course of your life.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's one of the new ones.
Yeah.
You didn't get that one last time.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
The next one's new too.
For me, it was the year that I spent in France.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we talked a little bit about that last time I was on the podcast, which you don't remember. But and you've told me the story multiple times, and I enjoyed every time.
Apparently, I didn't go to his graduation open house either.
I'm just.
Is that true?
I don't.
What do you have against?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
I do not know.
I didn't know young Eric, but I'm just really impressed that you did that, and it was a leap of faith a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have, all 4 years of college, I kept saying, I'm going to go do study abroad. I'm going to do study abroad. I loved our trip to France when I was a senior,
Yeah.
or before I was a senior. And I was like, I think I could do it for a semester, if not a year. And it just never happened. I'm a bad procrastinator. And next thing you know, it's the last semester and you're doing student teaching. I also didn't speak any other languages, so that hurts.
Now, you can always study abroad in English-speaking countries.
Sure, absolutely. I considered, looking into like England or Scotland or Ireland would have been very cool.
Canada.
But sure. Something that impacted my life. I don't know. I mean, I would say probably the biggest impact on my life is the fact that I'm here teaching now, and I don't think that was really ever the plan in high school. So I can kind of think of two seemingly small moments that would have kind of put me on this path, and that would be when I was a senior. I don't remember what we called it, top time, Trojan opportunity period or whatever.
Yes.
That, like you said, when we have new ideas with every administrator and it comes and goes. Cleveland, Chris, wanted to have, or she got stuck with the ISTEP or SAT review class.
Yeah.
And it was in general. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, she would do English, and on Tuesday, Thursday, she had to do math. Well, she'll be first to tell you that she's just cannot do math. Absolutely. And so she, for some reason, asked me to do it for her as a high school student. And she was like, well, you just take my Tuesday. That's my freshman and sophomore. You can surely, math well enough, you can do that. She was just using me because she didn't want to do it, which respect to her for that, delegate. But I was just like, no. And I, even though I was upperclassmen, the idea of talking in front of other high schoolers and trying to tell them what to do was just very intimidating. And so I did it anyway, ended up having a great time making fun of the kids and kind of getting them to teach them math while also just, joshing around a little bit, whatever you want to call it. So that's one small thing that kind of made me realize I could do it if I wanted to, because I wouldn't call myself an introvert, but I'm totally fine sitting in the back and being the quiet one at the table or sitting in the back of the room and kind of observing. I did not enjoy speech classes. I didn't think that would be for me, public speaking, all that. And then the second thing was when I decided I didn't want to be an engineer, and after the first class, I was like, this just seems so boring. But I knew I was good at math. I called my dad. I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't like engineering. I was like, I'm good at math. I like math classes as much as someone can like math classes. And I think I can get a degree in math. I just don't know what to do with it. And he's like, I always thought it'd be really fun to be an art teacher. He's like, I don't hate my job, but it's not like fulfilling, and I don't enjoy going to work every day. I don't get home until 6 o'clock. He's like, imagine if you're a teacher. It's like, yeah, the pay's not great, but you get your summers off. You're done by 3. I wish you'd never miss your kids' sporting events. You never miss. And he's like, what if you're just a teacher? Up to that point, every single person I had mentioned being a math teacher to, they're like, oh, don't do that. You won't make any money. You'll be poor. Oh, don't do that. Oh, you'll hate it. Oh, don't do that. You'll hate it. And everybody just wants to give you a hard time. Even my mom was like, you sure don't want to be like an actuary and make like 3 times as much? She's like, you'll be soul crushing work and you'll hate your life, but you'll make 3 times as much.
But think of the money.
But I just want you to be happy, sweetie. And he was kind of the first one, just like, yeah, shoot, just teach. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of where I was like, yeah, shoot, I'm just going to do that. So just a simple phone call.
Okay.
That's great. Stock, did you always know you wanted to be a teacher?
Ever since 6th grade.
Really?
It was the day that we learned about adverbs. And I remember thinking, these are so cool. I need to tell everyone about these.
Okay.
So I was going to be an English teacher until I got to my freshman year in high school. After that first 9 weeks, I loved French.
Adverbs did it.
Adverbs did it.
That's the reason you're here.
Yep.
Is adverbs. Oh my goodness. I still don't know if I want to be a teacher. So, all right. Next one's new as
Number
well.
4, new one. Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I don't think I would fare very well against anything that's horse-sized. Like horses aren't in themselves all that like they don't have a lot of weapons on them.
They're terrifying though.
And yet just the size of them alone, they would wreck you. And so to make anything that large that would have like, you always talk, the example is always like, hey, you imagine how much damage how much damage a house cat can do with you with just one scratch. Now imagine like a mountain lion or a tiger or a lion. Now make that horse size. That's horrifying. A duck's the same. Like a beak, a bill does not seem super
terrifying
or imposing as a duck-sized bill.
They've got little teeth on those things too.
Yeah, serrated little bills. Now you make it a horse-sized duck. That thing is going to rip me limb for limb.
Yep.
And I also don't know how I would kill something that's horse size. I'm not going to choke it out.
No, there's no way you get on top of it either.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to put on a bikini and jump over it with a chain.
It's got wings. It's not Jabba the Hutt.
You do what you have to.
You make it happen.
I'll try to play to my strengths here and say that I think I could kick 50 soccer balls without getting so tired that I couldn't kick from the 49th to the 50th. So I think I could kick 50 duck-sized horses and kill them without getting too tired. I don't think I would have any way of even remotely finishing off the horse-sized duck.
It always cracks me up when I get the mental image of somebody kicking a duck-sized horse. That's terrible. I love it.
What sound? Yeah, does it neigh as it goes?
It just says neigh.
Does it whinny? Yeah.
I love that one. That was the question last year amongst the students. I'm sure you heard it too. Was if you were locked in a cube with a gorilla, how many times would it take before you could fight him? Like before you could kill it?
Oh, 0. Yeah, there's no. I'm not. It would an infinite amount of times. I'm not.
We had kids who were really confident.
I believe it too because I had the same question. I was going around school.
Sure.
And that was even like a chimp instead of a gorilla. I was like 0.
0. Those things are terrifying.
I get a lucky eye poke in. The blind chimpanzee is still ripping me limb.
It's going to beat you down. Yeah. That was the class question last year.
Now, in the first season of the original Wonder Woman series, she fought a gorilla.
I was just about to say the same thing.
And she won just by talking kindly to it.
Well, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't look at it. Just wait for the.
Oh no, she was looking at it. She's an Amazon princess.
She had the confidence of having like superpowers, though.
Yeah.
And an invisible helicopter.
It's a jet.
A jet.
Craig.
It's a jet.
She doesn't have a helicopter.
Clearly.
How could you know?
Oh, I know.
How do you know? You just listen to the sounds?
Number 5. What do you want your legacy to be at CHS?
I told myself when I read.
Has this changed?
When I read these questions that you sent me, you're like, hey, just you want to prep? Here's 5 questions. I quickly went through them. I was like, it's more fun when you randomize, but I should come up with something funny for number 5. And I just forgot. I just totally forgot that I was going to do that. So can you ask the question one more time?
What would you like your legacy to be at CHS?
Willie didn't mess me up. You know what I mean? Like I hope students just go,
It wasn't that bad.
He wasn't great, but there's no trauma. So that's good. I like, let's just stay even here. No negatives. The positives, if I
Negligible. Yeah.
yeah. And on a serious note, and I think I talked about this last time a little bit, it's not so much about, you've got students that whoever's teaching, they're going to pass the class, they're going to move on to college, they're going to do good things, they're going to be successful. It's the ones, and we've talked about this before, all three of us. You don't see it coming very often. There's random ones that you just get through to, and sometimes it is the quiet kid in the background that has a rough home life. Sometimes it's the starting quarterback, who's been starting for 4 years, has the popular girlfriend, and next thing you know, they're saying something to you, you're like, oh wow, like no one just has asked them how they're doing in weeks, and like, you don't think, and they seemingly have a good home life, and you just you kind of almost accidentally just
connect with them.
Yeah.
I really just, you have to walk on eggshells around saying touch the
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice when you just feel like you make that connection, whether it's getting a laugh from a joke, whether it's them kind of giving you a hard time back, whether it's them starting off poorly in a subject and ending up doing well. Those little things, if just one person says like, hey, Mr. Hegg made high school a better experience for me, then that was good enough. And now ideally I wouldn't want the other 99% of the people going, oh, he ruined it for me.
Yeah, that was the worst experience of my high school, man.
Yeah, I actually dropped out of high school. He was a nightmare. So, and it kind of the same, I feel the same with coaching as well. The records are nice. It's always fun. It's much more fun being part of the team when you're winning during the season. But once the season's over, like it is now, and you look back, you're like, I honestly just hope they had fun. I honestly just hope they walked away better people, better students. I hope they walked away wanting to play again next year.
Yeah.
And so
you actually get perspective outside of season. Yeah,
that's true.
It's really nice.
So,
Stock,
Craig?
we come to the end of another successful podcast.
Yes, we have.
Anything you want to add before we check off? Is there anything that we need to know that's coming up in the next week or so? The play is on Saturday.
Play is on Saturday.
I think it's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, MBR.
Okay. Looking for somebody to run sound and lights. If anybody wants to volunteer, come and see me. Anything else?
The two most important things coming up are the NHS Thanksgiving dinners.
Yep.
Again, if you'd like to donate, you can drop money off at the high school office. And the blood drive on December 6th.
Yeah, all coming up. And that'll be up on us before we even know it.
Oh, yeah. We've got 16, after today, 16 school days until Thanksgiving break.
We've got 7 days to edit for the Veterans Day program.
Oh, yeah.
So my kids have been making Veterans Day videos, and we've got 7 days left to edit before we finalize them and see which one's going to win.
Is the community invited to that?
The community is invited. Okay. As the last I heard, they're going to put chairs up front like they usually do, and community is invited. We'll see how it goes. We've got new people in charge, and I think their heart's in the right place. Yep. So we're moving in the right direction. So we'll see. It's been handled in the past by one person, kind of spreading the wealth this year, but I think it's going to go well.
If we have any retired military officers out there or serving active military right now who would like to attend, please contact the high school office.
Yeah. Get a hold of ladies in the front office. Yep, absolutely. And they've got a new building out there for VFW, so they've got a cool, nice place to hang out and kind of pass that word along. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is season 2, episode 8, closing out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.